Right now, a peek at what Madison High School renovations could look like as part of a potential upcoming referendum.
And a one-woman mission raising money for local research, she says, impacts almost everyone in some way, shape, or form.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 10.
And thanks for joining us tonight at 10. Madison schools are looking at a $315 million price tag to upgrade its schools.
The school board is considering asking for that in a referendum next November. Amy Reed joins us now to show us where that money would go and what it means for your kids. Amy?
A chunk of that, about 20 to 35 million, would go to a new elementary school, but by far the majority of the money goes toward improving the area's high schools. They haven't seen upgrades in decades, and while the district nails down plans, they want to make sure the public is on board. Tonight they started at La Follette.
I left here in 2014.
Chad Weezy gave us a tour around the school he used to run. In too many ways, it still looks the same as when he was principal.
But we've got, desks that are probably easily 30, 40, 50 years old.
As old as the last time La Follette High was changed 50 years ago.
There hasn't been a major reinvestment at La Follette High School since 1969. So it has been some time. The facility's certainly showing its age.
On floor plans, they have mock-ups for what they want. A new gym where the field house is. And the current gym would be changed to a science and technology lab, plus other smaller improvements like air conditioning for the whole building, even here. Linda Ketchum's daughter plays volleyball for La Follette. She said the heat during tournaments is tough to bear, but during school, it's hard on her sophomore nephew.
They have struggled, and my nephew has some health concerns, and so some days it's a challenge with those concerns to be in school when it's 80-some degrees in the classroom. So that's challenging.
For all these changes, La Follette would need $70 million from a $315 million referendum, a price some parents are happy to pay, if not more.
We really want a labor force in 10, 20, 30 years that can support our senior citizens, that can support our economy. We have to invest in kids. We have to invest in schools. We have to invest in teachers.
Madison Metropolitan School District is going around to the different high schools to get parents and community members' feedback on their plans. Tonight they were at La Follette. Tomorrow they'll be at East. The other two are in a few weeks. Still, this referendum is not certain yet. The school board will have to vote sometime in the future to decide if they want to ask taxpayers for this money.
All right, Amy, thank you. An update to a story from last night. The Madison Finance Committee did not approve any additional money to fund more police officers at last night's meeting. They did, however, approve funding for an independent police monitor, which is a $200,000 position. The monitor would act as oversight for police policy and procedure. For years, the department has been asking for more funding to address an officer shortage. The full council still needs to vote on this, where they still could increase funding. We're expecting to get an update tomorrow morning regarding the disappearance of two Wisconsin brothers while on a work trip to Missouri in July. Local news outlets in Kansas City are reporting that prosecutors will give us an update about 10:30 tomorrow. The brothers, Nick and Justin Diemel of Shawano County, are presumed dead. 25-year-old Garland Joey Nelson pleaded not guilty earlier this month on a charge that he took the rental truck they were using to visit his farm. Remains found on Nelson's farm have not yet been identified.
Another wavy day out on Lake Michigan, which makes for some good surfing conditions for a handful of thrill seekers in the Green Bay area. Yesterday, the National Weather Service says the waves were around 12 feet high right along the western shore of Lake Michigan. Today, we really felt those wind gusts in the Madison area as well. Let's get a look at that forecast now with Chief Meteorologist Gary Canulty. And Gary, those winds dying down a little bit, right?
A little bit. They're not as strong as they were at this time last night, and it looks like they'll continue to subside a little bit overnight. As we take a look at cloud track along with precipitation, you can see light showers through the day today moving out into Lake Michigan. And skies are actually clearing to our south and west. And on Doppler track, just about all the precipitation is gone. A couple of sprinkles north of Milwaukee heading out into Lake Michigan. High temperatures today, lower 50s in Madison. A few places didn't get out of the 40s, and current temperatures now are in the mid to upper 40s. But skies are clearing to the west, and temperatures are actually dropping to the 30s over central Iowa. The winds generally in the 10 to 20 mile per hour range. Still a few gusts up around 30 miles per hour, like in Lone Rock. But as those winds die down and skies turn partly cloudy, look for temperatures to drop into the middle 30s by tomorrow morning. For tomorrow, some morning sunshine will give way to clouds in the afternoon and some more scattered showers with a high 52. That's your News 3 Now First Alert forecast.
Gary, thank you. Today, Wisconsin U.S. Senator Tammy Baldwin, along with a bipartisan group of lawmakers, introduced a bill to create a 3-digit suicide prevention hotline. They say the current 10-digit number is a barrier to anyone in crisis seeking support. The bill designates 988 as a suicide prevention and mental health crisis hotline. Senator Baldwin says we lose about 45,000 people every year to suicide, including more than 6,100 of our veterans. Former President Jimmy Carter, again in the hospital after a fall at his Georgia home last night. He suffered a minor pelvic fracture. His spokesperson says he will recover at home. It marks the second time this month the 95-year-old has been injured in a fall. He is the oldest living U.S. president.
Vice President Mike Pence will be taking a day trip to Wisconsin tomorrow. He'll stop in 2 different cities, touring a shipyard in Marinette and talking with employees of Fincantieri Marinette Marine, that is, and then he will visit Yuleen headquarters in Pleasant Prairie. The vice president will be back in D.C. tomorrow night. His Wisconsin visit was delayed, you may remember, by a diplomatic trip to the area near Syria and Turkey. The Oregon School District Superintendent is announcing his retirement tonight. Dr. Brian Bussler has been the superintendent over at Oregon schools for the past 14 years. In a letter today, the district says he plans to retire at the end of this school year. They say Dr. Bussler has been working with the school board over the past few months to develop a transition plan, which will be announced during a board meeting next Monday.
The Monona Police Department is working to determine who vandalized a mural last week. It was created by the artist Black Days on the side of the J&H Auto Supply building. This was part of an arts festival in August. The Monona Eastside Business Alliance posted on Facebook that it appears that adults are responsible for this vandalism. If you have any information, you are asked to call Monona Police. Lori Laughlin and her husband, as well as 9 other parents, are now facing additional charges in the college admission scandal. The new charges come from a grand jury in Massachusetts today. They're in addition to the conspiracy charges they're already facing. The grand jury alleges that the parents conspired to commit federal program bribery. Arraignment dates for the new charges have not yet been scheduled.
A cafe and music venue in Madison is changing its name after some pushback from the community. The owners of the Winnebago said they named their venue after the street it's on, the west side, Winnebago Street. But after hearing feedback on it from community members and some of the staff even, they realized they should have put a little bit more consideration into their name and its ties to Native American culture. One of those owners tells us he's more than willing to change the name.
I think it's important to make sure that we're not taking ownership over things that are not ours. The name Winnebago is something that I have no personal attachment to, but that other people do. We've reached out to the Ho-Chunk Nation and would like their voice to be involved in this conversation more than ours.
So the owners are now looking for help in renaming their venue. If you would like to pitch some ideas, we have their contact information over on channel3000.com.
A long-time Westside Madison restaurant will close next month ahead of a construction project. Babe Sports Grill will close November 16th before it is demolished and a new affordable apartment complex is built in its place on Schrader Road. The owners say they are planning to include a new restaurant inside that building, which is expected to be complete sometime in 2020. A Middleton woman is raising money for local research she says is most needed, working toward a very ambitious goal.
Madeline O'Neill is sharing her story new tonight at 10. Maddie?
Danica and Eric, many of us have donated something to breast cancer research, but reports suggest less than 10% of that donated money goes towards stage 4 or metastatic breast cancer, which kills the most people, an estimated 116 daily in the U.S. Christy Conser is on a one-woman mission to change that. This October, Christy Conser is thinking ahead to when leaves return to the trees.
It's at the end of May, so hopefully the weather is going to be beautiful.
Her next birthday is a milestone.
I call it Nifty 50.
Arriving 8 years after her breast cancer diagnosis.
I'm very grateful to still be here.
With her metastatic cancer, she says the median life expectancy after diagnosis is between 2 and 3 years.
I was still teaching in the classroom at that time. I wanted to stay with that, obviously.
The former second-grade teacher misses the classroom.
Family tradition.
And time shared with her mother, too.
That was her last birthday. My mother, she also passed away in 2013 from metastatic breast cancer. Throughout all of the time with her and with myself, It just seems that this has been building and building and building.
Building to a lofty goal.
Ambitious has been used a couple times.
To raise $50,000 for metastatic cancer treatment research by her 50th birthday.
It's pretty much my own show, yes. It's my Super K to help give me some of those superpowers.
Luckily, she's built up some of those powers already.
You meet rejection and criticisms and anxieties and hard work and persistence. And I've experienced all those.
Through social media, public speaking, and events, Christy has no doubt she'll reach her goal. Her ambition runs hand in hand with hope.
My energy is that this will happen.
And once it does, she'll set her sights on the next milestone.
Hopefully it's going to go past my 50th birthday.
All of the money raised will go toward the More for Stage 4 fund at UW Carbone Cancer Center. Now that can help lead to treatments for people like Christy. She has a few events lined up, including a jack-o'-lantern contest at Barrique's Sunday. We'll have more information on that on our website, along with how you can help out.
All right, Maddie, thank you so much. Still ahead tonight at 10. The wind will be backing off a bit as we enter the middle of the work week. Gary has the full forecast coming up.
But first, the Milwaukee Bucks today showing off some improvements done at the Fiserv Forum. We'll show them to you next. Welcome back. The Milwaukee Bucks are showing off some changes already at the Fiserv Forum today. They are subtle, but they do address some issues that Bucks fans brought up during the first season in the new building. One of the changes, got to have these new cup holders for the seats. The old ones, the fans said, were so shallow that drinks would spill easily. First world problems, folks. The point of sale system at the concession stands have also been streamlined, so it shouldn't take as long to pay for your food. And the floors in the upper concourse of the arena also will have a new look this year. Any real fur apparel at Macy's will be disappearing in the next couple of years. The company says it'll stop selling the products by early 2021. That decision applies to Macy's stores as well as Bloomingdale's locations and its discount outlets as well. Macy's admits the move was partially influenced by animal rights advocates, but it says customers are also moving away from buying real fur. The retailer says it will continue to sell clothes with faux fur. Pharmaceutical giant Biogen is asking the FDA to approve its experimental Alzheimer's medication. Clinical studies of the drug called aducanumab were put on hold back in March because the medication was deemed not promising enough at that time, but Biogen says new trials showed much better results. According to the company, the trial suggested the drug can offer significant benefits to Alzheimer's patients, including improvements in memory, orientation, and language.
The U.S. Postal Service is unveiling several new Forever stamps today. They honor legendary golfer Arnold Palmer and trailblazing journalist Gwen Ifill, who you just saw there. Now, Ifill's stamp is the 43rd in the Black Heritage series. The USPS says the preliminary stamp designs are subject to change. The largest bank in the nation wants to hire more people with criminal backgrounds. JP Morgan's CEO made that announcement in a statement released today. He says it's a way to level the playing field and broaden its pool of potential employees. JP Morgan now has banned the box, as the company is putting it, the one that asks prospective employees whether they have a criminal record. But the company says it is not lowering its hiring standards. Bad news for anyone out there sharing their Netflix password with friends or family. The streaming service could start soon cracking down on that practice. The company says it's aware some users do share their password information to avoid paying for a monthly subscription. Netflix already limits the number of devices you can stream from one account. The company has not said how it will actually monitor password sharing.
Well, check it out. Tiffany & Company is selling its very own Advent calendar this year, loaded with luxury jewelry. It is 4 feet tall. It weighs more than 330 pounds. It features a treat for every day in December before Christmas and will be hand-delivered and assembled in each customer's home. There are only 4 of them available, by the way. The price tag, $112,000. The company isn't revealing everything that's inside, but says it includes diamonds, as well as platinum and gold jewelry. A little fancy. Not sure if I'm quite ready for the Christmas season, but we're starting to see it earlier. You were talking about Christmas music on the radio earlier.
I just hope my wife wasn't awake to watch that.
Right, exactly. I'll take chocolate, by the way. That's fine.
Under the tree, Gary.
Well, the winds are dying down, and so far, so good, at least as far as getting the winds out of here, and also the precipitation, which has been in the form of rain. We're still not dealing with snow yet, but these are the maximum wind gusts today. Here in Madison, we topped out at 35 miles an hour. Milwaukee hit 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts, but you see a lot of locations across Minnesota, Iowa, and down into northern Illinois in the 40 to 50-mile-per-hour range, but those winds are starting to die down. They're still out of the west, more in the 10 to 20-mile-per-hour range, and we're seeing the strongest wind gusts actually shifting more toward the north and east. Still a 30-mile-per-hour wind gust in the last hour in Green Bay, but to the south and west, you can see those wind gusts are starting to go away. So is the rain. A few showers over far eastern Wisconsin, moving out into Lake Michigan. The rest of southern Wisconsin right now, precipitation-free. Live view from the Edgewater Sky Cam in downtown Madison. Not seeing any rain here. Still a fair amount of clouds, although they are starting to break up to our south and west. High today, 51, the low 45, but once those clouds start to break up, we'll see those temperatures drop off. Still 48 with the cloud cover here. Winds are out of the west at 12 miles per hour. High temperatures stayed in the 40s through much of the state. Only far southern and southeastern Wisconsin hit the lower 50s, but you see temperatures now as cold as 37 degrees in Rhinelander, where skies are starting to turn partly cloudy, and also to the west. You can see 30s showing up in parts of Minnesota and Iowa. As we check out the weather track, upper level winds right now are from the northwest, and that's going to bring in the cool air. It's actually a little warmer to our south and west, and there are a few showers with the next weather system that'll zip in, but coming in from the northwest doesn't have a lot of moisture associated with it. So we will see some of these showers reaching us during the day tomorrow. In between, skies should clear out overnight. This trough of low pressure now allowing some of that clearing to work in to far western Wisconsin. Temperatures are in the 30s up in northern Minnesota, even in northern Wisconsin, 40s elsewhere. You really have to get down into southern southern Kansas before you see temperatures around 50 degrees. On future track, notice there's a clearing for tonight, but the clouds moving in pretty quickly. Look for rain showers tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow evening. Those will pull out. Skies will start clearing again tomorrow night. And then look for partly sunny skies on Thursday and Friday, but temperatures will be on the cool side. Our forecast for tonight calls for skies to become partly cloudy. It'll be breezy and cooler, low temperature dropping to 36. For tomorrow, we start out with some sunshine in the morning, then we turn cloudy in the afternoon with some afternoon showers developing, high temperature at 52. On future track, you can see those skies clearing out overnight. That allows temperatures to drop into the 30s, but then the clouds move back in. Showers are likely by tomorrow afternoon with highs in the lower 50s. They should move out pretty quickly tomorrow night, and that will allow temperatures to fall into the middle 30s. And we'll look for partly sunny skies for both Thursday and Friday. High temperatures, though, only in the mid to upper 40s. Rainfall amounts right now looking like around 1/4 of an inch. A few places might be a little bit more than that. But as we take a look at the 7 to 10 day forecast, you'll see those temperatures on the cool side through Friday, warming up into the mid 50s for the weekend, then cooling off next week. A weather system midweek could bring rain and snow showers by Wednesday. That should clear out in time for Halloween Thursday, but look at that high temperature of 40. Trick-or-treaters probably dealing with upper 30s in the early evening and then low 40s for Friday.
Layer up underneath that costume.
They'll need to.
Yeah, get it ready. Thank you, Gary.
Thanks, Gary. Badgers' #1 ranked defense. It will get its toughest test of the season at Ohio State Saturday. Here from defensive coordinator Jim Leonard ahead in sports.
It seemed like that loss at Illinois could have wrecked the Badger football season, but the truth is they still have 5 more games in the regular season, including Saturday's 11 a.m. matchup at third-ranked Ohio State. If the Badgers win that one, well, order would be restored, but that's going to be a pretty difficult task. Sure, the Badgers still have the #1 rated defense in the nation, but Ohio State's offense is tops in the Big Ten in scoring, almost 50 points a game. They're putting up over 500 yards of offense a game, too. There's skill everywhere, starting with quarterback Justin Fields and running back J.K. Dobbins. It might keep defensive coordinator Jim Leonhard up tonight.
You know, as a coordinator, you always try to find the fastest way to lose and focus on that. And unfortunately, this week they have multiple options that fit that category. You know, the quarterback and the running back. It all starts there, right? They have talent all around them, whether it's the receivers, the O-line, tight ends. They're all a talented group, but a lot of deep concepts down the field. You know, big chunks down the field that most quarterbacks aren't making those throws, and you know, he's stepping into them consistently and putting it on a rope. So yeah, you got to cover from sideline to sideline and end zone to end zone. Like they do a great job of stretching the field, and they have skill that can run.
The highest paid head coach in college football is Clemson's Dabo Swinney. USA Today had the list of top major college coaches' salaries today. Swinney passed Alabama's Nick Saban. He's up to $9.3 million a year. And Wisconsin's Paul Chryst, number 25 in the country, at a reported $4.1 million a year. It's early, but this could be quite a season for the Badger men's hockey team. We know they're really skilled on offense, and if they get any kind of help on defense and in goal, a lot of good things are in place. Today, goaltender Daniel Lebedev is named the Big Ten's #1 star for the week. Lebedev was in goal for the Badgers' 2 wins over 2-time defending champion Minnesota Duluth last weekend. Everything's going well so far for the Badgers, but Tony Granato hopes people don't get ahead of themselves.
You know, we got off to a good start. We played good teams. We played pretty well. And, you know, our job is to continue to get better, to continue to gain, more respect as we go along. You know, after 4 games, does it make our guys feel good and feel that what we've done has been recognized? Sure it does. But ultimately, it's about facing your next challenge and not getting too wound up thinking, okay, we got it all figured out. Now everyone thinks we're great.
The fall high school sports season has flown by. Tonight, the WIA volleyball tournament series begins around the state. In Mount Horeb, the Vikings host Wisconsin Dells in a Division II regional. Mount Horeb gets off to a quick start as Alyssa Weir hits Maddie Madison for the point. They just keep on going from there. Elise Getzinger gets another kill. Mount Horeb wins in 3 straight, 14-10 and 10. The Vikings face River Valley in Mount Horeb Thursday. And in Dodgeville, the Dodgers host Prairie du Chien in another Division II regional. Grace Bourne sets up Allison Esch for the little drop shot, and the Dodgers are rolling. A little later, Bourne sets up Olivia Argel, and watch this big old swing. Boom. That's nice. Final score, Dodgeville 3, Prairie du Chien nothing. Dodgeville at McFarland Thursday night. And we'll be right back.
That breeze kind of tapering off a little bit here.
Slowly but surely, it's starting to go away. The rain showers are just about gone out of Wisconsin. Temperatures are in the upper 40s for the most part, and those winds right now in the 10 to 20 mile per hour range. Still seeing some gusts around 25 to 30 miles per hour, but those will come down over the next few hours. Otherwise, look for cool weather for Thursday and Friday, and then some rain and snow chances Wednesday.
Well, thanks for joining us. Have a good night.